Um, so this is an analysis video, but it's of a game from a few days ago. Not sure exactly when this game was played, but it's not a more recent game, so I'm not too familiar with how it played out. But I kind of wanted to do it for that reason. I wanted to kind of go into it blind and have my memory jarred of what actually happened, and I feel like I'd get a cleaner perspective on how to play the map from an unbiased viewpoint of not really knowing the outcome of the game and just breaking it down play by play leading up to me remembering more of what happened in it. Right now, this is my perspective, and I knew I was going to go rock at this point. I called it out late to Jade. I was like, hey, you know what? Let's come, let's go rock. And basically, the idea of it is we're both running Sogs. That's why I chose Jade up to come with me. Because we're both running Sogs in this game. And top middle is so crucial for control. And so if we can go to rock, which half-time teams won't even send somebody rock. I don't know why, but they just don't. It's another one of those classic examples of people just neglecting the lane that doesn't have the objective point to it. So they see the big A in the middle. They see a B on our right side. So it like draws their attention towards it. Like they feel like they have to run towards one of those objectives and immediately hold it. But if you go to this left lane, because there's still 3 lanes. If you watch these, you'll understand that I talk about 3 lanes, and that's because every Call of Duty map, for the most part, it's not always true, but it's true for the most part. They're all built in with 3 lanes. You have, the mid one, and then your 2 on the sides, depending on how your map's laid out. If it's a more vertical, horizontal map, whatever, like based off where you spawn, there's still probably just going to be 3 lanes if you break it down from an aerial viewpoint. And on this map, the left lane just gets neglected a lot of times. So we went rock, don't see anyone. Now, what we do is we take this time to basically come and support the people that are top middle and kill anybody that might be their side top mid that are in a long range gunfight. It's just a way for us to get in on the fight, but without having to take super long range gunfights with Sogs. And we can just do a little shortcut through this doorway, and now we're in a position to get a lot of kills,
Threat clear.
and not even half-time get seen. So now I'm already in their spawn. Like I'm in it. Like I'm already spawn killing, and the game's not even like 30 seconds into it. This guy shot punch. So now I'm doing damage, and now they're like, golly, we gotta clean this guy up and get him out of our top mid before we can even think about making progress on, the middle part of the map or their side of the map. And if we go and look and see kind of what everyone on our team's doing, let's see,
We're in place.
I hate theater mode in this, it's so wonky. But if we go back and we'll look and see where I'm at, so I'm already making plays in their spawn, or I'm starting to, yeah, I'm doing it right now. Got Gary waiting for this guy to show up, and he gets killed from the right, I believe. Who else? J-Dop was with me on top. Now he's trying to kill the 2 guys that tried to kill Gary. Let's go back, see what Jim was doing at the same time. So I'm getting those kills, and they know that there's no pressure. Like, and once you realize there's no pressure, you should kind of have a feel for what's going on the map, and know that, like, once you're just kind of playing back and playing too slow, something's wrong. Like, if you're having no interactions on the map, while other people, well, I'm 7-0. If I'm 7-0, and the next closest person to me only has 3 engagements, then there's a lot going on that they're missing. See what I mean? Like, if we go back towards the beginning, and watch. Let's see where he goes off the rip. This is Jim. So, we basically break it down from, a general standpoint of map awareness and map activity.
Defend
When
all
you
zones.
notice that somebody else on your team is getting a lot of action, it probably means there's a lot of open lanes somewhere for you to be pushing out and for you to be getting position on the map. Like, there should never be a point in time where you're just not seeing people.
They're taking Alpha.
Like, right here, if he's not noticing anybody's pushed up, then something's probably wrong. So he gets his one kill, and now it's like, okay, there's a lot that happened on the map, and he's got to try and figure out. And I'm not saying it's on him. I went to Jim's perspective, because I know he plays well. What I'm saying is, there are people on the map that were in probably a better position to make progress with me up their side, that were playing too passive and too, well, I'm not going to say scared, because that sounds worse than what it really is, but just, they weren't playing aggressive enough when the time dictated.
We're contesting A.
So, we'll go back, and, we'll go back to my perspective, because I don't want to, like, get on them about too much when it's not necessary. We'll try skipping ahead back to that point. So, I'm in their spawn already, doing my thing. And we're already getting kills in our favor by a good margin. Still skip ahead, I forgot how long this whole instance was. But still sort of just doing my thing. And just applying pressure. Just staying with the foot on the gas and not letting them really have a chance to fight back. Like, I don't want them to get a chance to get on A. I don't want them to have a chance to touch A without giving us a few lives first.
Battery expired.
So, like, I understood. Like, you look at the minimap, you see there's spikes going on behind you, and you have to have that timing in your head. Like, okay, I've killed these guys in this amount of time. I have probably a few seconds to help win this gunfight. Then I have to immediately, like, I didn't worry about the second guy. I couldn't. If I worried about the second guy, I wouldn't even have had a chance in these gunfights. I think I still die here, but I mean, it's because I get Seeker Mine and stuff. But you have a few handful of seconds to get back to whatever it is you were originally doing, your goal, and then you have to just let your teammates play. Like, they have to be able to take care of it.
Shots cleared.
Now, I'm getting pushed. All I do is damage, and I call it out. I'm like, hey, they're up top. Somebody else needs to come pick up where I left off. But realistically, they probably could have been there sooner and helped if they were just quicker. This is pretty funny. He caught me looking on the minimap. I just didn't expect there to be a guy right there. Oh well, this is stupidity. But it is what it is. It's not unacceptable stupidity, but it's stupidity nonetheless. But, so they're on A. I've made progress up to their side of the map, but I'm in a bit of a predicament, right? I shot a guy and let him go to our side. I'm not going to chase him. I've already made too much progress up that side of the map. He's too far back on our side. All I can do is call him out and have my teammates kill him. Like, if you're going to chase that kill, there's going to be enemies just rushed up behind you. And by the time you finish it, you've lost all map control. So I'm not sure exactly what I do in this point, but I would assume I go down low and try and kill the guys. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I just continue up top and then see if anybody's coming up the stairs and then pick off people on A from up top. That's probably, yeah, as I say, that's probably a more, yeah. I shouldn't be in that position to have to kill that guy with a saw, but because of, like, lack of aggression on our teammates' side, that's just what happened. Like, players played too passive on our side when they didn't need to, when we had plenty of teammates pushed up to their side. If you see you have teammates pushed up to their side, well then you have to, like, push up and spread out. Like, say I was up to their window, or I was up to their front door, their top middle, killing them. J-Dop was with me. He gets, one of my hallways or something so they can't flank underneath, or something weird, just so they couldn't, like, flank me. The other people that were top, either Jim gets that kill and pushes through B to keep the pressure on their side and fan ourselves out is what I like, or feather ourselves, whatever it is. But just fan yourself out and cover each lane at that point. Make a little, what is it, the Spartan phalanx? You just spread out in one line. Everyone covers a lane, and you try and make the enemy team really, really frustrated getting out of their own side of the map. But nobody did that. Nobody went rock and pushed up to Lambo when they had an opportunity to. And there's plenty of opportunities to. I didn't have too much help covering top middle. Looking back at it, I'm not saying that because J-Dop had his hands full. He was doing his thing, but there were just plenty of players just sort of hanging back, picking off stragglers or waiting for things to come to them, and it just once you get into that rhythm, basically you're separating the pace of your team. Some players are playing too fast, some players are playing too slow, and you might get kills, but you're not playing as a cohesive team. Like if I'm pushed up like that, I'm not expecting to get flanked from the side. I'm not expecting to have to peel back and do something else. I'm expecting the people behind me to recognize that and basically spread out, cover everything that's open, make sure nobody gets behind. That's another map awareness thing. You just have to understand when somebody could be behind, and basically support your teammates, and that's all it comes down to. I called out, hey man, there's 3 on A. There should never be 3 on A when the lives are 18-6. We should have so much map control of middle that they couldn't even have touched this point. I mean, they just didn't have any lives. They had no lives in their favor, but yet we had 5 engagements, 4 engagements, 7 engagements, 11 engagements to my 18. The next closest to my 18 engagements was 11. That's a lot of kills that aren't being traded. When you think about it, that's a lot of engagements for one guy to have for the other players not to spread out and cover the other entrances to the map, the mid-map area. I'm not saying that everybody's going to have the same amount of engagements all the time, but there shouldn't be a discrepancy from 4 and 7 to 18. You know what I mean? There should just never be that level of discrepancy of engagement. I'm not saying you have to get that many kills. I'm not saying that you have to go 18-0 to match. I'm just saying, you have to make your presence felt on the map. You have to understand, oh, there's a lot of action being won, especially one. You're seeing me get kills in a specific area of the map. You basically want to either A, push through that area of the map once I get those kills and make even more progress up that side, or B, go to one of the outside. If I'm on the middle lane, B, go to the other open lanes, because then it doesn't matter what lane I'm in. But if I'm getting a lot of action in the left lane, then move on to the middle right lane, and just keep that pressure surrounding the other team's base. Don't let them get out for free. Don't let them be like, oh man, we're getting choked out in the middle. Let's just go left to B, or go right through Lambo from this spawn, and we won't have to deal with that guy anymore. Make them have to pay for every single inch on the map. If I'm doing that, fan out towards B and cut them off, so when they spawn up, you're right by that well, and now they're like, God, well now we can't go towards B for free. Now it's hard just to go to the left and middle. And then they're like, alright, well I guess our only option is go Lambo and go through rock, and now we can get around that way. Well then if you're a teammate with good enough awareness, you're like, oh well, we have all this mid-map control. Let me just spread out and make it to where they can't get through Lambo either. There's no arrows over there. That's my job to fill. If you don't see any arrows on that side of the map, and you're not currently in a heavy action area, well then it's your job to find the open lane on the map and fill that hole. It's your responsibility as a player to look and see what's open and where the enemy could potentially make progress through the map at, and cover it and fill that hole. Especially whenever your teammates are getting kills. If your teammates are getting kills and winning their engagements, then that's all the more freedom that you have to push up to the other team's side of the map, push up towards their spawn, and just choke them out.